Not so bad. I did 12 yards by myself, so that should be pretty good. We got 3.5 yards of sand screened, not like my other stuff in the lawn or in the new lawn. And today we're gonna be using, I got a DIY level drag, which is kind of basically like a pallet. Made that out of the scrap wood that I had from the deck. We got the leveling tool, a landscape rake, and we got the trusty mallet with the brush attachment. Now the weather is not in our favor. The cars are covered in rain right now. You can see in the back, the skies are dark, but I think we might be able to get this done before the rain hits. I've been wanting to try out is using this Landsy. There is absolutely no way that I'm going to do this whole project using this tiny little thing. But I just want to see how well it works with sand because, you know, it spreads out dirt, peat moss, compost, and everything. So let's give this thing a shot and see how well it spreads it out. It's cute, but I'm gonna put it in a wheelbarrow and just throw it all over the place. That's why I built that drag. All right, let's do it. Here we are, 50 minutes in. And I made a bunch of little piles. As opposed to putting like humongous piles on there, these will be easier to knock down and kind of work it in, I think, a little bit better. This stuff is extremely heavy, it is wet, and I highly suggest that you take like a couple days off of work and spread this stuff out and let it dry out, because the stuff along the outer edges that were dry were very easy, but this is going to be a pain to spread out. But it is what it is when you know, you work and have a family. It's like you gotta work with what you got. So all right, I'm gonna set you guys down here and we're gonna knock all these down. All right, we got it all leveled out. It took about close to 2 hours, hour and 45 minutes to get this all kind of leveled out and knocked down. We got the drag over there. It's a homemade drag, which is almost kind of like a pallet, I guess. But I used some old wood from the deck project I did back in spring, and it is 5 foot long by 1.5 foot width, and cut out 2 little areas to hold these cement blocks or like patio stones to give some extra weight for when I'm dragging it around. Got a few eye bolts on there and this thick rope to drag around. I only got 1,500 square feet, so I mean I don't need to, you know, hook this up to a machine. I can just walk around, you know, with it. So let's see how well this thing works.
There's a lot of back door.
Well, started raining. I guess we'll have to wait now until it dries out a little bit, because there's no way that using the Allet on wet sand is going to be really efficient. So we'll pick this up hopefully maybe tomorrow after my throat surgery. It's tomorrow. So all right guys, sorry. All right, so we got rained out. This is what we got so far. It's on there pretty thick. Kind of makes me nervous. So we're gonna have to wait a couple days here, let it dry out, and then I'm gonna take the Allet to the top of it, use a level tool, kind of brush it all out. But I mean, I only got 4 passes done, so let's wait a couple days. And it looks okay. You know, I put down half the amount of sand. I had to actually take some sand out. It's sitting on the side of the house. I only used probably about 1.5 yards. You know, I had to overseed. It took a long time for the seed to come in because of the seed shortage. Don't be fooled. This lawn, even though it looks green and kind of thick, we're gonna chop it down. I'm gonna show you what it really looks like, because this was a huge mistake. Rushing this stuff, even though I didn't have time, it's not worth it. You gotta let that sand dry out, because that stuff pancaked and it killed a good portion of this lawn. So it's not always more is better, you know. So let's cut this thing and I'll show you guys. Yeah, 1/3 rule. I don't think so. And there it is, guys. We are now back down from 2 inches to maybe, it might have been even 3 inches, down to 1 inch. But you know, this was a terrible idea, putting this sand down the way I did it. I forced it, and the forecast was calling for rain. The seed was already, or the sand was already wet, and I should have waited, but I couldn't. I only had 1 day off, and I had surgery coming up, and that was the only time I had. And it rained twice on it. It pancaked it. It dried a little bit up top. It stayed wet down on the bottom. It was real heavy. I couldn't spread it. I tried using the Allet and brushing it in. I did it for like 2 weeks. So they planted some SS 9000. It came in late, and it grew in. And you can see over here, it's lighter. You know, this is all brand new. The zinnias killed all that by overhanging and then throwing sand on top. It just it wasn't working out. And then you can still see here, it's thin. There, and there's a lot of other spots in the lawn that didn't germinate. I don't know if it'll pick it up right over there. Also, cool season, guys and girls. This is not Bermuda, you know, like Bermuda thrives through that, grows right through that. This is perennial ryegrass. You don't want to bury it, you know, and I couldn't unbury it. Once I put the sand on there and it rained, it was impossible. So learn from my mistakes, everybody. It turned out okay, you know, because we had a warm spell, but you know, hit that thumbs up. It really helps out. Hit the subscribe button, or at least consider it. And I'm going to GIE, so comment below if you want to see a certain booth, and maybe I'll go live or something like that. So, all right, thanks, guys. We'll see you.